Hailing all the way from Aurora, Colorado, representing Team Instinct, it's a JackJack 1620.
Hello, hello.
And all the way from this neck of the woods, from the depths of the understink, it's Team Valor, JayTi7N.
What the fuck would you say?
How's it going, Jack? Because I'm Team Valor, bro.
Just trash.
Trash
incarnate.
Yeah, bro.
It's like, hello.
The king of the trash pandas.
Jesus.
Well, how's it going?
It's going good. I was so freaking tired from all the walking yesterday.
I am so tired.
I think either 12 or 14,000 steps, which is pretty good.
That's pretty good.
For a day all considered. That's taking breaks.
12,000 more than me.
All the shade that we needed. The Jamba juice that we consumed.
Jamba juice is always good.
It was
super good on Pokemon days.
It is.
Like, it's good normally, but like when we get it after playing Pokemon or during Pokemon or whatever, it just hits different. Literally.
It really does. And it just takes me back to high school days back at Hinkley. And then having the race there during lunch, and now like going there is such a fucking treat, especially when you don't go often. So
yeah,
treat yourself to some Jamba juice goodness.
But yeah, no, it was so we just finished the Pokemon Go finale event.
Yes.
Sorry, Go Fest finale event.
Go Fest, yes.
No, it's just all of Pokemon Go finale.
It's just done.
Yeah. So we just finished the Go Fest finale event, or just the prerequisite or predetermined makeup event is what we used.
And they did a good job with this makeup event.
But pretty much, it was pretty fruitful, all things considered. I wasn't necessarily super excited going into it. I really wanted to see Cowboy Hat Snorlax.
And they dropped the ball
there.
They
had a regular Snorlax in raids that you could get shiny.
Which no one gave a fuck about.
Joe Butt Munch wanted one, but like shouts to him for only wanting the one.
Yeah, he's like the only one.
But it's like if it was Cowboy Hat Snorlax, I would have been hunting them.
Definitely.
But I didn't care. So, getting out to that point, it was a pretty good event though, all things considered. They still had some good shinies. I ended up getting like 12.
Which is surprising because you left.
Because I dipped out about 2 hours in.
Yeah, I was like, where the fuck is he going?
I played intermittently, so I just had to run a few errands, and then I was helping out Carla with her desk stuff and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
So I didn't come back. I actually didn't finish. We didn't finish building that desk until like midnight. So
sweet Jesus.
It was a lot. But anywho,
no me gusta.
So, but the event was pretty good. Like I said, I got about 12 shinies, which wasn't bad considering I wasn't playing that much. I got all the Ultra Beasts. That was fun. It was nice that the Ultra Beasts were like basically
how easy to catch.
Yeah, it was like a 90% catch rate or something.
Which to me, like we're talking about that. So me, Joe Butt Munch, and Nico Nanobite. Or Nate.
Yo, shouts to you.
We were out at AMC, so we ran into like TurtleMaster.MNX, and we ran into a few other trainers out there, which was great. There wasn't as many people there, which is fucking fantastic, because they're like, where is everyone? I'm like, I really hope they thought Boulder was doing something again, because they're like, why didn't see on the maps? I was like, I didn't give two fucks. Yeah, I was just trying to be at AMC because I knew it has enough gyms.
Well, the density is nice there, like you said.
Yeah, it's great walking paths. It's near food if you need it. Because, again, us want to go to Jamba Juice. When we went there, we still had access to 2 stops and a gym.
Yeah.
So, wherever we went for food, there was always we could still keep playing. It wasn't just like we were completely cut off. And it was dope because, like, again, we found the shade spots. There's plenty of effing trees.
Yeah.
Close to your walking paths. So we take refuge there. Granted, there was mosquitoes and like Joe had bug spray, thank God, but I was stupid and didn't use it. So now I'm like scratching mosquito bites.
Yeah.
But like it was sweet, and like the first hour with Faramosa, great raids because again that's where we learned. This bitch is easy to catch.
Yeah.
Dope. Granted, I still wish and still always want Niantic to just give us the extra balls that we get from
let you hold on to the balls.
Yeah, like to me it's like you earned them for battling at whatever efficiency, so just let us keep the extras.
Just imagine the like how that would happen in like a real life scenario. Like you finish this raid, here's 20 balls, try to catch this Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
And then like, you caught it on the first one, I'm taking those 19 back.
Right. Like why?
Like, I earned those, those are mine. They're in my pocket. They're literally in my hands.
Or we could do with some exchange rate, like, you caught it in this many, when we get those back, you can give you an extra item. do something of that like nature, but they just don't. And I think that's something I wish they do. The shiny rate, I don't know what the fuck was up with the game, but I was just getting anoriths. Like, red anorith, and I'm just like, what?
Well, and then I got one, and they were like, hey, the crew just needs to finish getting their anoriths.
Yeah, I was like, we'll be set with an ana crew, but, like,
it was weird. Top? Little purple Hitmon top?
I got mine later.
Nice.
So I was like, fuck yeah, Nate just gave me, like, the dirtiest fucking, like, hey, I'm so sorry.
No, it was good, though.
But, like, shiny checking everything was, like, really critical there, and I was glad there's enough people to lure up all the stops. I don't think we saw a lot of people until like almost halfway through the event is when like more people started to show up, because initially it was just like 5 or 6 people.
Yeah, it was hard. Like, I saw a couple of crews out there in the morning when we were there.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people, like, my assumption was people were raiding. So I know some folks like that were doing like raid trains, like I got invited to, but I was like, I'm not really big on raiding, especially like I like the Ultra Beast, I really do. Sun and Moon I enjoyed heavily. Mm-hmm. But it's just the fact that it wasn't shiny yet. So I was like, I don't really don't want to
that's
like
the same deal I'm having
use
with
my passes.
The Sword and Shield dogs, Zamazenta and Zacian.
Yes.
They're not shiny yet. So I haven't I haven't rated for them, so I don't have them yet. But I also like you were saying, I was like, because I was kind of like, I kind of want to go out and do them, but it's just like I can just wait until they do whichever shiny version or whatever. And
yeah,
because they're doing raid hours, but they're still not shiny.
Yeah, so I don't even want to do
like,
it.
Okay, like I get to feed 2 birds with 1 scone and get the
1 scone.
Do it when they're shiny.
What the fuck? Making me hungry again.
Well, I do like scones, but anyway, but going back to it, like you said, with like all the raiding and everything that was going on, it's like everyone's like, hey, here's a raid train. Like I got a couple of invites too, and I was pretty happy about that. Especially when I left AMC, I was like, yes, people are still inviting me.
Yeah, well, you didn't have your online activated.
I never do, so.
Yeah, I was like, let me just try, and I sent a few.
Like, shouts to Zach.manx and stuff, and like even Banani, because like they'll still shoot one out even though I'm not, like, I don't have my online status. So just like, maybe he'll do it, maybe he'll try. And I'm like, yes. Half the time I don't notice, like I get the notification, and it's like, someone invited you to a raid, and I'm like, oh my gosh, to like try to jump in. It's like, that was 7 minutes ago, and I'm like, no. So I'm just like upset. But
Stupid.
But I was still able to get each Ultra Beast. I was pretty happy about that. And I got pretty good ones.
Did you?
I got a perfect Pheromosa.
Are you kidding me?
I got like a 98 Buzzwole.
Dope.
And my Xurkitree was like a 96. So I got really good of each of the Ultra Beasts.
Well, you always get really good, like, legendaries.
Yeah, I do typically do pretty well with those. So,
like, for me, my main thing was just getting them, and then I had lucky trades with Nate, and I had lucky trades with.
You got another one with Nate?
Turtle Master. Well, we had one still.
Oh, I thought you.
I had one on Chris's account too, so we did both of his.
Nice.
Because I was like, well, shit, we're already here, and we were taking a break at the library. We sat down because I had a lot of stops, and we're like, all right, let's shiny check everything. Because again, it was hot as fuck out. And
it did get warm, yeah.
I'm really glad I didn't. I was stupid. So quick tip: if you have a nasty ass water bottle, wash that shit more than a day before your event.
Fact.
Because a lot of people don't wash their water bottles, and you really, really should, because it develops a nasty film from just your mouth bacteria, your mouth touching the bottle.
It's its own ecosystem.
Yeah,
within your water bottle.
Stagnant water with whatever minerals and stuff in your water already. It can get nasty, and your water bottles can smell funky, especially if they bake in your car.
Well, that real quick PSA that extends to all of your drinkware. So your mugs, like if you use the same mug or I use the same cup for my water.
Yeah.
But I wash that cup
at least rinse that bitch out.
I'll wash it at least a couple times a week.
Yeah.
Because like you said, if it's sitting there stagnant or anything like that, you can feel it. You drink it or whatever, it tastes a little different.
Yeah. And see, my fuck up was I washed it, so mine tasted like Dawn.
So soap.
Water. At the end of the day, when I took some swigs of it, I was like, this is gross. I'm glad I didn't drink this before. Dirty mouth. So I dumped that bitch out. But playing was dope. So the first event with Pheromosa was dope. We did our catches. We were kind of worried because Nate didn't get shinies. It took a while, and then the second round had Buzzwole. That was dope because that had Axus, and Axus were fucking popping.
Yeah. They were so good.
I was like Nate and I were just keeping head on the swivel.
Did you guys get some shiny?
I got a shiny Axu. Nate did not. But again, I was like, hey, at least we got extra Axu, you know.
That's his.
We were forecasting it's Community Day.
That's his Corey's Mewtwo.
No, that we brought up Corey's Mewtwo, and we're just like, man, I'm really glad these bitches are easy to catch, because like, and that's why I was surprised with Chris's account, because Chris's account, if no one knows,
pops off. I
generally have his on the auto catcher, so I have my gotcha, and let it go, and it barely caught shinies. Like, I think I caught more shinies once I was playing it manually, than letting it go autopilot,
so
which is
gotcha
different.
Wasn't doing well for it.
It wasn't pulling like it normally does.
Okay.
So I don't know if maybe that's because of that whole like Lash use the weight of this ball, but I took that off because I was worried it might not register. But even with that, like, it just was not catching like it typically does.
Interesting.
So I was like, intriguing, like trying to take mental notes of this trial.
Yeah.
Of experimenting with things, and I was just like, all right. So I'd hop in and out, doing stuff. But like, second one was all the Axus. Third one, I forgot what my focus was for that.
So it was Xurkitree. It had. Did that have the?
Who did it have? Because the last one was all of them, all the beast route.
Right.
I think that one. I think the third hour, aside from getting Jamba Juice, was just kind of catching whatever Pokemon was just there.
Right.
So we're checking all the combis and all the bugs and making sure, seeing what was shiny and what was not. And I got a couple of nice shinies. So again, I didn't do too bad overall. Like, I saw someone on Facebook, Colorado, got fucking like 44 or 45 shinies. And I was like, sweet jeez. But when I looked, a lot of them were Community Day ones. So I was like, because I literally made it a point, like, I was trying to catch as much as I could.
Yeah.
Like, I think I literally cleared almost like 800 bag space.
Nice.
Because I sat the day before and was like, all right, go through this. What do I not need? What I'm not trying to trade to people. Because I saved some of my like fucking party hat or whatever Charmanders because someone wants those. Someone wants them lucky. So I was like, I guess I'll save some of these.
Right.
But that was about it. But I was like, I still did pretty good. I think I still had like 80 spaces left by the end, which is great, all things considered. I didn't even get my Pokeball count below 1,000.
Wow.
Because I had I think I used a fuck ton of Great Balls.
Yeah.
I must have used at least 600 or 700.
Well, and I was spinning stops and doing things kind of normally. I feel like I gained more Pokeballs than I used, even when I was catching heavy. Like, it was super interesting to me because I was like, okay, I'm coming in there. I got quite a good number of Pokeballs.
Yeah.
And I'm a fucking weirdo. I only catch shinies in Pokeballs.
I'm just like,
I don't use Great or Ultra Balls.
Why
for like my harder to catch Pokemon or like more sought after.
Oh my god.
So like the Hitmontop, for instance, that was a Pokeball. Anytime a shiny appears on my screen and I can use a Pokeball, I try to use a Pokeball. And
I was like, why you like this?
I don't know. I just like it's fun.
It's just a challenge.
It's nice. So if you go through my bag, all my shinies, if it's not a raid, it's in a Pokeball.
Jeez.
And knock on wood, they haven't really broken out and ran on me yet. So
yeah, I was hearing someone had a shiny unknown X run on them.
Oh, that's rough.
And I was like, he's like, I was just happy to see it. And I was like, bitch, I would be happy, but I also be hella sad if it ran. You know, but I was thinking maybe that was one of the people, because there's a lot of people in cars, which I was like, I don't know how you do that or why, but I know
comfort,
like
air conditioning.
Granted, people who I understand is like Turtle Master. He has he's like you bowl the rock and boots.
Yeah.
So he's driving around his car, and I was like, that makes sense.
Well, like, not for nothing. So when I left, like,
uh-huh.
I was already, like, my foot was hurting. I was like, because I did that little lap with you guys.
Yeah.
And we did a little bit of walking around, and that was good. And, like, I'm moving around pretty decently, but it's, like, the length of time I can move around is still not quite there. Yeah. So, like, when I was like, I gotta head out because I needed to be somewhere by noon.
You were, like, on the other side of the building.
And then I was like, I got to my Jeep and I was just like, oh my gosh, like my foot was just like goo goo. Yeah. My toe was like, hey bitch, don't forget me, swing, you know, like all this other shit. And I was like, I don't know how much longer I would have been able to last like walking around with you guys.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
So like it makes sense. Like, not that I wanted to drive around or anything.
Yeah, well,
too much, but
again,
I don't.
Those are the only people I would have like given pardons to. But the others, like, why?
But anywho, back to my point real quick is like I feel like I gained more Pokeballs. It was nice because I like when they do little bundles like here's 50 more Pokemon storage and item storage or whatever. They increased it right before the event, so it's like what 6150 for Pokemon and 5150 for storage items or something like that.
It was a cute little increase.
There's a little increase, but it's still an increase nonetheless if you still need that space.
Yeah.
To your point, going through my bag and shredding them. Something I still need to kind of do. I start going through it, and then eventually I'm like, okay, 30, 45 minutes in, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go do something else or stop looking at my phone or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. But the hauls were pretty good. Like I said, I like the kind of the ease in which you can catch the Ultra Beast. I like the Beast Balls.
Those are dope.
I love Beast Balls. Put them in my hand.
Yes.
Yes, let me fondle them.
God.
That was a good time. I like the Ultra Beasts in general. It makes me excited for the ones coming up.
The other boys.
So you got like the Clown.
The thing I was trying to figure out is what is the search for them? They don't show up as legendary beasts or legendaries.
Right.
They don't show up as mystic.
And there's not an Ultra Beast.
Or mythic. Sorry.
And there's not. Is there an Ultra Beast tag?
No, I search Beast. I search Ultra. I search UB.
Oob.
Yeah, I was just trying things. I don't know if there's a specific search, so I ended up just making a tag for them.
No, you might have to. I don't know.
Because
maybe that's something.
I don't know what to search for them in order to pull it up.
Maybe that's something they'll add in the future. Like
Maybe
an Ultra Beast tag.
That's why I was like, what the fuck?
Especially with more of them coming
so
out.
I tried Beast. When I tried Ultra, it pulled up on my Ultra Pokemon that I have for Ultra Week. So I was like, that doesn't help too much. But I was just like, yeah, I don't know. I try. What else did I try?
Yeah, no, you're right though. Like, there's nothing on Legendary.
Yeah, so like I was trying to search it like that because again, my focus was also if I had the opportunity to get lucky beasts, well, I had the chance. So I got 2 of them with Nate, and then today when I was at Heroes, I was like, oh, let me do my lucky trade that I have a Merce account.
Yeah,
and got a lucky Buzzwole. So I was like, fuck yeah, like get all these ready. And then I caught my few, and I still have a fuck ton of rare candies that I can feed them.
Mm-hmm.
Because, again, I don't want to use a bunch of raids, and I didn't want to use a bunch of coins for remote raiding. And I do appreciate the people who invited me to some, but I think I turned down more than I accepted. Especially because one of them was it was me and one other person, then they hopped out and, didn't say anything. Like, there was 2 of us going in on the raid, which we could have taken it. But then the person never pulled their weight. So I was like, what the hell? So that's the kind of shit that pissed me off. And then I realized...
Yeah, I like inviting you guys just to carry me, right?
Well, that's what Nate was doing for shits and giggles. Like, him and Joe were like, maybe I could get the last hit. And Joe actually did get the last hit.
Just by waiting until the final minute?
Yeah, he waited and then he did a few hits and he got the last hit. I was like, Joe, what the fuck?
That's baller moves, bro.
I was so upset. He's like, but you guys were fine. You guys got it.
Yeah.
I was like, granted, bitch. But why?
I ain't fucking worried about it.
I just laughed. I didn't call him a bitch, but he knows I was frustrated. I was just like, poor gay. But, yeah. But it was still fun overall. And then, again, going to Jamba Juice is fantastic. It was, the right time, right refresher.
Ultra Beasts.
It's Ultra Beasts? Is it what it is?
Yeah, you have to do it multiple.
That's
Ultra
so
Beast
extra.
by itself doesn't work.
Ultra Beasts.
Ultra Beasts. So if you're looking to filter your Ultra Beasts in your Pokemon storage, add the S at the end of Beast.
And there's a space between Ultra and Beast.
Yeah, so it's Ultra space Beasts because it won't work out the other way.
So, yeah, so that was something I was just like... Jamba Juice again was in the clutch.
Jamba.
Nice cold drink, cold space. My other phone was starting to overheat, so we stopped just in time.
Excellent.
And then again, battery packs helped. I had them plugged in, rated. Had the big hat.
So that's
what saves.
Was there anything you think that? I mean, obviously there's things that could be better, but
they did a great job with the incense. It wasn't as short as it was last time.
Okay,
where unknowns were
Oh, you're talking about when the Pokemon popped up.
Yes.
Okay.
It didn't feel like it was rushed last time.
They fixed the incense a little bit, yeah.
Yeah. The only thing I wish that would have happened, is just let all of them be shiny. Not just... Yeah, that's just let them all be shiny. Everyone should have that chance. Because, again, there was... Who was it? The Seaweed Seahorse. I forgot what his name is.
Oh, a Skrelp.
There was him. There was a few others if you could pull that up real quick, because there's a few other boys that I was like, this one would have been perfect to have be a potential shiny, and it just wasn't. I think Drillbur was one of them, because I ran into a lot of him. Like, they had Geodude, and I was like, we've already had days of Geodude, plus Geodude's been out forever, you know? He shouldn't be here. And I was just kind of like, alright, whatever, you know, like, I'll just make do. But there was just other Pokemon that I wish would have had, they just would have had shiny in the mix. So, who was it? So, like, that
was fine. Drillbur still can't be shiny for some
reason. So Drillbur was that one.
Joltik
was the other, because there's a lot of them. The Stunfisk
I don't give a shit
even though Galarian Stunfisk can be shiny, but he
not
can't.
Regular one. Oh, the Frillish, that was the other one.
Yes, Frillish. I loved having both of the genders out, so the blue and the pink.
But being able to be shiny would have been nice.
Would have been really nice, and I was just kind of like, why? Like, we've seen Bulbasaur, we've had Clefairy. Chansey's just overdone because it's in every pink event, every Coachella event. He is there, or she is there. Tangela was dope. I was glad they were out.
Green Noodles, yeah.
Chikorita, I thought was kind of random because you just don't hear about Johto no more.
Right.
So I was like, okay, you're here, and like Turtwig ended up getting a shiny on. I was like, I love the turtle. Like, I love the plant Pokemon in general, but I was just like, we don't need the starters because they've already had their days.
The Burmy was nice.
Burmy was dope. Like, I feel like if they took out, like, the starters, I would have been a little bit happier because we've already seen them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, focus on the ones we haven't seen. Like,
well, not for
Mana,
nothing.
I didn't get to see, like...
Even though
I wanted it to be, like, everywhere.
Even though starters had community days, they always, like you said, come in different events.
Yeah, and we're even, like, I was looking at it for like, kind of the future casting, or forecasting. November, I think, is going to have a classic event, so it's going to be a community day redo of something. And my forecast is Chikorita, simply because it's in the graphic. In the starting image. It showed him, and I think it showed, like, Tepig at some point. So maybe it might be one of those boys. I don't know.
Interesting.
But I'm just kind of like, we're going to see a classic again, which I was like, I wondered if the classic even did well to start with, because a lot of people who I knew weren't doing it. But again, I know a lot of the OG players that are just like, why would I do this again?
Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of weird. I mean, I know there's a market for everybody for those types of things.
Yeah. The unknowns I thought were great because, again, they weren't despawning, but
disappeared.
I didn't see them in a high quantity. They were just kind of like there. Yeah, and that's why when we were walking heavily, I was just like, check. But again,
did you use your daily incense during the event?
I did. It was pointless. It was useless. I got one Pokemon catch, and I was like, well, stupid me. But like, and the reason why is because of Turtle Master. So, and I'm envious of him. You know who you are, Turtle Master. But he got a fucking Galarian Moltres.
Nice.
And so he was rocking that, and I was like, how many legendaries have you seen? He's like, oh, I've seen 5 of them. And I'm like, bitch, what? Like, are you serious? Because when I would play, I've only seen 1, and I play 2 accounts. And he's like, oh, I've seen 5 on 1 account. And I'm like, bitch. And then,
did he tell you
like...
his secrets?
Well, he sold his soul. I don't know. But I was just kind of like, how, you know? And the fact, like, those are like 3% chance of running into, even less chance of catching.
Right.
And so I was like, kudos. Like, I'm happy for the dude. But at the same time, I have to, like, talk myself off that cliff because I know at some point those are going to come to raids. It's just not going to be anytime soon, like, not within the next year.
Right. Ideally.
But they'll be there. And then I had to, like, again, pat myself on the back. It's like, I have them in Pokemon Home, Jack. It's okay. Don't freak out.
The Galarian birds are so cool, though.
They are. They're beautiful. And, like, that was actually something I was trying to make some sort of new logo for Instinct that has the Kanto version and the Galarian version of it.
Right.
And so that's something I wanted to work on as something when we start the team pages to maybe advocate. But
so you saw his Moltres. You're like, oh, I haven't even used my daily today. And then you use it and you got 1 Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
It was a Chikorita.
Nice.
I did really good.
Feel proud of you, bud.
But like, beyond that, I was just kind of like, what? Well, especially because it knocked your other one out.
Yeah.
So that's what kind of upset me.
That? Yeah. Because like every time I try to use it, well, I didn't try to use it during the event because Well, if I already had an incense.
Mm-hmm.
Because on normal days, it's like you can only use one incense at a time or one style of incense at a time.
Yes.
So like if I'm at work or whatever, I popped an incense on my train right in,
right,
and then I was like, oh, I can use the daily because I'm walking from the station to my office or whatever, and it's like, bitch,
you fucking thought,
idiot. Yeah, exactly.
Like, no.
And I'm like, what?
Why?
What do you mean?
Oh my god!
Just let me fucking use it. Anyway,
bitch.
I just thought that was kind of funny. But yeah, no, I was just curious because I need to use mine more. But
agreed.
I don't have a good.
I normally do mine on my way to work and on my way like to the office or something because it's a straightaway. So
okay.
I can usually catch whatever between stops, or between like red lights.
Right.
And it's not bad because then I'll just hold it and be like, okay, cool. Because again, I'm not gonna advocate for driving and playing Pokemon. Like if I do, it's usually in my neighborhood where like.
Well, I like to do it.
Like I said, I like to do it
on the light rail. I get to do it on the light rail pretty nice.
Yeah, that's a pretty solid 45 minutes of sitting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, this is a good time for the daily incense. I just want a burb. But anyway.
A burb.
But
which burb do you want the most?
All of them.
Oh, okay.
I really love Galarian, Zapdos, and Moltres. Like, I like Articuno a lot too, but my favorite...
Articuno looks like that bitch. Like
Articuno's serving.
Articuno has sass like she ate, and I'm like, damn girl.
Yeah, Articuno,
good job,
serving for sure. But no, the Zapdos because of its likeness to like a Chocobo,
and it's just kicking bitches.
It's fucking badass. And then the Moltres is gorgeous.
They did Moltres right.
Like, they did like
that's what Moltres dreamt it was.
Yeah, because like OG like Cantonian Moltres, you're like
when
whatever.
I grow up, I want to be Galarian Moltres.
Yeah,
honestly,
it's just that color combination is so powerful.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I want in order is probably Moltres, Zapdos, Articuno, but I want all three. Eventually I'll get one or two or three, but
all of them, all the above,
yes. But anyway, we have. Again, I was asking kind of if you thought there was anything else on the event, or pretty solid event, all things considered.
Solid. I always wish for more Pokemon.
Yep.
I'm not going to be sad about the shiny rate because again, I thought for my account it did well.
Yeah.
For clearly other people's accounts it did fucking outstanding, and then for some others, they didn't have the best of luck, which is extremely unfortunate. And I hope to never be in their spot.
Well, it's just again, but it's kind of wild to me that like again, Niantic just let them all be shiny.
Let them all be shiny.
Especially like even the evolutions, like you see the, evolutions of whatever Pokemon out there, like
even for the odd lures that people throw, like because some people are throwing, a lot of people are dropping magnetic lures.
Well, they want the Vikavolt.
Understandable, but like three magnetic lures in a cluster.
Yeah.
Because it was pulling up Pokemon that weren't for the day.
Right.
And that's where I kind of wish, like, if it is, maybe have those specific ones that are still for the day but related to that one.
Part of that lure? Yeah.
Like, something, because it just seems like the lures are kind of gridlocked, so you're getting Pokemon outside of that time span that you shouldn't be.
You're talking about when you're trying to get all the Axews, but you keep seeing Magnemite?
And I'm just like, bitch, why?
Gold nugget
Stop.
Magnemite.
I wish that'd be cool, but
with the orange color.
I just want the purple scarved Axews. That's all I want. That's all I need.
I mean, that's fair. It is kind of funny, like using the thematic lures. I wish those were a little better. As weird as that sounds.
Or they should last longer because they cost money. They cost more money than a typical lure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why do they last the same rate? It doesn't make sense. Make it make sense, Niantic.
Make it make sense.
But. Beyond that, I thought it was fine.
Okay.
Where we were was great.
Okay.
I know we're talking about it for other areas where the weather might be way hotter during the day, and how some places were like, can Niantic reschedule? And I guess Niantic just is like, nah, bitch, fucking deal with it.
Yeah, like Southern Oregon is like literally on fire or whatever.
Yeah, and they're just like, no, you got to play during this window because it's when everyone else is.
Yeah.
So that kind of sucked hearing that logic. Or hearing that tidbit from Niantic. I was like, man, because to me, if it's a special event for you, I kind of liked it where it was like 2 or 3 not community, but like Go Festigo, where like we got the makeup pass.
Well, could you imagine like so? I guess to a point, it gets like kind of funky but I think they could work it out. But I was gonna say there was like no global challenge for this thing. It wasn't like every 2 hours it's like catch 5 billion Pokemon amongst all you Pokemon trainers. You can figure it the fuck out or anything like that, and you unlock like 50 more XP catch or something. Or I mean, not that Niantic would be against that, but like, but there's like no global Stardust.
Come on.
So if there's not a global challenge, it would be nice if it's a ticketed event like it is. Just let me activate it whenever. Yeah. So I can start maybe, hey, Saturday morning, Saturday at noon, I had errands to run. I won't be free until 2 p.m. maybe. Let me activate it at 2 p.m. I can play till 10 p.m. I don't give a fuck.
And there's not like there was a heavy raid component to it either.
No.
So that's where it's just
even if there is though, like I can still invite. Like how many times have we gotten invites from our friends in overseas?
Oh, well,
like like oh shit, someone's inviting me. Like it happened yesterday, or when I was with Carla, she was getting invites from her friends still in Japan to do various raids and things like that, or some friends over in New York or in in the UK or whatever.
I was getting on Chris's like North Carolina and shit. I'm like, I don't know anyone here, but I just also was going through a process of just adding friends across like different platforms. So I was like, it's one of them. So I was like, thank you so much.
This is the segment Niantic, let us trade globally.
Again, like there's no reason not to.
Like, just fucking send it, bro. It doesn't matter. But anywho, like a ticketed event to have more flexibility, because that's like one thing people are clamoring for is the flexibility. Like, again, when the 6-hour community day was still active, people were like, oh, on one hand, if you're like kind of a psychopath and you want to play for all 6 hours, you can do that.
Myself.
But it's one of those things. It's like, hey, I can't play for 6 hours, and I can't play right at 11 a.m. or 9 a.m. or whatever. I might be able to play between 1 or 4.
You might be sleeping. You might have work to do. You might have an emergency for your family.
So, like, the flexibility aspect, I mean, they kind of brought it back in a sense with, like, the whole, like, raid the second evolution to unleash a whole litany of the first, like, the basic Pokemon, which I like that type of thing, but like, it's like, hey, I already paid for this ticket, or it's a paid event or whatever. It would be nice to have that kind of flexibility to be able to activate it when I want, give me a window. And even if you want to be even more limited with it, it's like, okay, if you play during our hours, you get this. But if you activate, say you activate it on your own, like you choose one path or the other, you might only get 1 hour for each window or something like that. I'm not sure what the trade-off would be, if there even has to be a trade-off, but I think it would be kind of nice just to have that level of flexibility, because again, in some places it's hot as fuck outside, and I don't want to play when the sun is like baking me
and gonna melt me and my phone together into
my phone is burning through my hand or something like that. I don't, I might need to take some time to go do something, because all things considered, don't have a lot of time off, and this is going to take my whole day anyway. At least let me pick when it starts.
Right.
So
I agree.
And that's why I was wondering. I'm just curious to see if that's even in the cards. It would be nice to see Niantic do something like that. Kind of be a little bit more pro-consumer.
Well, and the other thing we're talking about too is like the use of Campfire. That still hasn't been activated for people. I tried downloading it recently.
Well, you can download it, but you have to be invited.
Yeah.
Which pisses me off.
So I was like, what? So I was like, whatever, because other people I talked to are in the same boat. So I wanted to utilize it that time around to see where people are going to be, because it's going to be heavily raid focused.
Yeah.
And it wasn't open yet. So that was kind of like a womp-womp.
Yeah,
but at the same time, I was like, whatever, so be it. I'm here to catch things. So that's where, again, I think the event was still dope.
Yeah, it's a good event.
People who were raiding heavy said some folks did 75 raids, and I was like, that's a fuck ton, I don't know if we did a lot of raids, but a lot of them, I think the bulk was in person. So I used raid passes for Axews and Rockruffs in person.
Well, it's nice because you got bonuses for in-raid raiding.
Exactly.
In-person raiding.
And that's where we were talking about at Jamba Juice. We're speculating when they're going to bring back the EX raids, and if there's going to be an emphasis on those again in order to get the other beasts,
right?
Especially for this new season, the season of light. So we'll see what's going on there, but it'd be cool if it had more of a focus, like, hey, if you do this, you can't invite remote raiders or something,
like to see
or
EX
they reduce
raids.
the amount of...
The first EX raid I want to see is Kecleon. No, where the fuck's Kecleon, first of all?
He's never coming.
Clearly.
Never coming back.
Never gonna get it, never gonna get it.
Never gonna get it.
But I wouldn't mind seeing EX rating coming back, mainly because, like, I don't know, it has its own stipulations, but, like, they want to promote more in-person ratings. That was a big one for us. It's like, hey, we're going to go hit these raids that hopefully we get that invite to the illustrious Mewtwo at the end of the week or at the end of the other week.
And, like, what were the raid areas were, like, Meadowwood Park, it was Purple Dino, it was Olympic Park.
Sprint Store.
The Sprint Store by the Aurora Mall back when it had a stop. It was Curves of Sigma?
Curves of Sigma. Yeah, but I mean, like, there's so many gyms now, because there's more gyms than there ever has been.
Yes, it's insane.
Like, you can do it. You can figure out a system for it. It would be nice. It would be nice to integrate some kind of system. Like, oh, you do an EX raid, and then after the EX raid pops, maybe there's, like, more spawns around you because you already have 40 people raiding at the same time. Like,
or your Stardust catches are boosted.
Or that kind of incentive, like, hey, we want you to do more in-person raids. Zamazenta and Zacian are out. Okay, that's kind of weird. However, if you go do a Zamazenta raid in person, or even remotely, but if you're in person, guess what? A 200-meter radius around Zamazenta or Zacian, Galarian forms.
I want it to be, like, around you. I want it to be, like...
No, I don't want it...
I want it to be, like, a steam bomb for you.
I'm saying to promote in-person raiding. So you can remote raid if you want, but you don't get the in-person benefits.
No, I agree, but I mean, like, say you don't stay in that area for long. Say you move out of that area.
No, I think it should be around the gym like they do for the community day events.
Oh, okay.
Because that will, like I said, that promotes the in-person rating, and you're going to be in the area. They want you to do that kind of stuff. So then you sit there and for 30 minutes you get Galarian spawns or Hisuian spawns. Stuff that you wouldn't...
the spawns were dope.
That's what I meant, like, that would be the incentive. I'm not saying, like, you do it and, like, I get more fucking Sandshrew or whatever.
Yeah, but what?
I'm fucking over it. But I'm saying, like, you do Zamazenta and Zacian, this is where you get the opportunity to do more Galarian forms or more, like Hisuian forms.
Okay.
Or something like that. I mean, around you so you can, quote, be mobile would be kind of neat. But again, I think... to promote the in-person rating aspect of it, that would be a way, like, the compromise that Niantic would do is, like, do it around the gym.
The other thing I thought was good when it came to even the Rockets that they haven't done, that they did kind of before where they had your challengers, was just keep it as just battle them. Keep it like that, because you can hop out. The cheat.
So you're not even battling them?
You could battle, you could quit, battle, quit, like, battle, quit.
Instead of defeat?
Yes, because I think it's the hunt down process. So back when they did it to where you had those specific gym trainers for that fest, and it was like you're running to one half of whatever city block to the next, trying to find that trainer. That was exhausting, and that was really time consuming. Terrible, yeah. And it was stressful. Like, I normally don't like playing games that make me stressful, and that stressed me a little bit. Because I'm like, where the fuck is this gym at? I'm already walking, and now you're telling me I have to walk to the very edge of the earth, what it felt like, to make sure that stop wasn't the one, and it was always that last stop.
Well, it's always
that
the
was
last
a trainer
one,
I needed.
Like
I'm just like,
always
fuck!
Across the way from where you were.
Yeah, so it was like a 20, 30-minute walk.
In theory, I liked it because you battled your way through the, quote, gym types or whatever. But it's like you said, it was hard to find them. Like, there was no radar for them or anything like that. Because if you at least knew where the stop was, that would be at least a little better than I gotta scan these 40 stops in this area.
And they went in order
to find the one. And they went in order. That's what I was saying. Like, in theory, I kind of like that aspect of it, but only if you had the information that you needed to be like, hey, the next trainer is at this stop, or like you said, I can at the very least tap on it and not have to actually defeat said trainer. And
so that's where the battle part was dope. Keep it as battle.
I like that. Defeat.
I think the only thing where it was like defeat was like you had to defeat 2 grunts. So I was like, cool. And they actually, like, there was a little bit more grunts once we got to that phase because they unlocked per phase. So it was like the 3rd phase had them, and then the other one was like the hatch an egg. I got a little bit worried because I forgot to set my shit in incubator. So, like, certain times where we stopped, I was like, I just have to keep walking. Just keep walking. They just laughed at me. I was like, I got to. I had 7K eggs I forgot to put in my fucking incubator. And thankfully those hatched during the time frame. But, like, geez, it kind of sucked because I would have hatched. If that would have been an earlier mission that just kind of sat there, I would have been done. But I had to like haul ass, especially right after having Jamba Juice. I was like, shit.
Yeah, it's like I need to hatch. Part of that's kind of the fun in discovering what it is. Sometimes, because there's those guides like, hey, we found out from New Zealand or from our friends overseas that this is the stages of each special research, so maybe be prepared for that. Maybe, hey, you're going to have to hatch an egg, so maybe keep a 2K in your pocket so you don't have to like do anything major, because it was like half egg distance or whatever.
Oh, yeah. It was,
So, but anyway, but it's not, like I said, some of it's kind of the fun of exploring, like, oh, what's next? What's next in store for me? The problem is, like, it's all just the same recycled stuff, so it's, like, nothing ever really new or challenging. But yeah, so overall, I like the event. I'm curious to see where the future holds because, like, Season to Go is ending, right? At the end of August, Season to Go is going to be ending, so it's in the next couple of days. Season of Light is the next one, and that's all we know. It's Season of Light, and it starts on September 1st. They did a couple like teaser images of like constellations. Right. So there's like the galaxy, you like looking out at the stars, and you see like a nebula of Cosmog.
Yes.
The space uterus Pokemon. And then it evolves into a Pokemon called Cosmoem, which is like basically mass.
It's like a little spaceship.
Yeah, it's like a mass. It looks like old like a nuclear symbol or something like that.
Yeah,
the neurons like flying around it. But anyway, and that evolves into either Solgaleo or Lunala. So eventually we'll have Solgaleo and Lunala. It's like the Sun and the Moon Pokemon from
which are beautiful.
Sun and Moon. They're awesome Pokemon. And so big theory is those are becoming into the fold. There's going to be more Ultra Beasts because we're still in Gen 7, which is Sun and Moon. And I'm just, like I said, kind of curious to see what's going to happen throughout this new Season of Light. They already announced that there's going to be an event on Saturday the 3rd, so like next Saturday. Weird. But it's just like, keep your eyes peeled, blah, 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 blah. It's like, so what am I supposed to plan for? You're going to give me information on the 31st or the 30th.
It'll be Wednesday. It'll be the 30th.
You're going to give me information right before the new season for an event that's happening on Saturday.
Yep.
And I'm supposed to, like, what am I supposed to
Most likely, it'll be like a week-long event, so I think that's why they're not too worried.
Well, they specifically mentioned Saturday the 3rd.
Is it
for
only
an
for
event?
That? Is it for like only a few hours?
I'm curious. I don't know. They said community days aren't the only events on the horizon. Here are the dates for additional in-game events coming in September. One is specifically on the 3rd. Another one is specifically a week later.
Weird.
So I don't think that's a week-long event. I think it's actually like, hey, come out Saturday. It's going to be
it might be like the Bidoof where it's just like event. Really quick.
I hope so.
Where it's just something silly.
But again, it's just like super weird that they're just like, yeah,
they'll do Stuffle again.
Stuffle was great. Okay, like
Stuffle's cute, but I don't mind that kind of stuff. I'm looking forward to it. There is also more interest from what I've talked about, people like getting tournaments back up and running.
Yeah.
September will also be the time, I think, for Aurora Masters. We'll announce the page updates and actually get those active.
Okay.
I think I'm kind of glad because people are like, when is it going to start? And I was honestly just waiting for all the GoFest stuff to settle the fuck down because I wanted to make sure I gave my full attention to that, and I think a lot of other people did too. So I think September. Plus, I just want September to just be personally better. So I like having
something
activities.
to actually look forward to in September instead of dreading
instead of just sadness that I felt the last like
3 plus years.
2-3 years. When I hear September, I just think of again
the bad times.
Well, not the bad times, but the song.
Wake Me Up
when September
ends.
Yeah, that's pretty much like my anthem. So I like to change that this time around.
Yeah. Well, like you said, there should be good events coming up. Season Light could be cool, and like you said, we can start getting some interesting things on the board. We have the kind of relaunching of Aurora Masters. We'll have look at doing the tournament stuff, see who's kind of interested in that, and hosting our own things. Also, and if you care, they just had Worlds for Pokemon in general, but that included the video game component, which is like Sword and Shield and stuff, included the trading card game component, and they included this year a Pokemon Go component. So there was PvP battles at Worlds, and you worked your way through the ladder to get there, and so someone won an official Pokemon Worlds Pokemon Go tournament.
Jesus.
And it was like actually pretty lit. So if people are interested in that, we can start getting those tournaments, like fully sanctioned tournaments.
I'm
on the
down
board.
to get that and labs back up. I missed the labs.
Labs are a lot of fun. And then just like an opportunity for us to, again,
to socialize and to help people who might not be the best at battling.
We'll help people
get comfortable,
and connect with our local businesses and help out our community in general. So it's a lot of fun. The labs are cool because they're like super relaxed, super casual, and
they also
they're fun
help
and
you think outside the box.
Exactly. They're super experimental. And then the PvP tournaments themselves, I think we do a pretty good job at running those. They're a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And right now, we use Heroes a lot. And right now, Dueling Lands right over there, that's launched. They run tournaments over there. So I imagine we can probably work something out with Dueling Land and Heroes and the Hookah Bar. And the Hookah Bar works with Dueling Land.
Do they?
Yeah. You can get like discounts and stuff. Well, they make smoothies and tea and coffee and stuff too.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Oh.
So anyway, like it's like that whole little area.
I think is just cancer.
Is a good little. That little area is a good little like kind of nucleus. But I would like to start running those types of events. They were a lot of fun, and it was really fun to be a part of it and have the community take part in it. So on our end locally, Roar Masters wise, looking forward to those opportunities and kind of what the future of the game holds. Again, we got Season of Light coming up. We got a couple other things that are kind of interesting. Community Day will be on September 18th for September. That's a Sunday as opposed to Saturday. The 17th, I wonder why they do Sunday instead of Saturday, because all the other community days are on Saturday.
This is why I think there's going to be some event that goes through that ends like the day before.
That would be kind of interesting. Or it's like, well, maybe that'd be too much. But anywho, because like you said, so Sunday, September 18th will be the next community day. Curious to see what Pokemon that is. I wonder if they return to the starters or if they're like, here's another, like if it's as cool as Stuffle was. That'd be nice.
That would be. Who would you want it to be if it was someone from like Sun and Moon?
Sun and Moon. Is it too early to do? I keep thinking Charjabug, Vikavolt.
I don't think so because they already had it. Grubbin would be sweet.
They're like, is it too early to do that? I have a deep love of Grubbin.
Grubbin would be dope.
Other ones. Oh, we should do the horses. Mudsdale.
That'd be cool.
Mudsdale would be pretty funny. They still haven't done the Gen 6 starters. So I was like, do we go back to the starters? Got Pick-a-Peck. All the Oricorios would be funny. Cutiefly. Rockruff, we talked about that because they still have a third form of Lycanroc.
He would even be cool for October, even though I still want Mimikyu.
Mimikyu would be really cool. Be cool if, like I said, if Pokemon Go just
I would think it'd be one of the plant boys.
Sandalite would be sick.
I think it'd be one of the plant boys.
Bounsweet into Serena would be cool.
Yeah. The Sandcastle would be cool.
Sandygast, for it'd be October for Ghost.
See, I'm telling you, if they don't choose Mimikyu, you're gonna riot.
Angry. If Mimikyu is not at all somehow featured.
Yeah, I'd just be sad.
Jingmo-O.
They've already done their dragon for the year. They can't.
The dragon for the year, yeah, I forgot. Because Poipole would be awesome too. These are Ultra Beasts technically. But yeah, I'd be kind of curious. I also kind of want a Wimpod one, but that's because
Wimpod would be kind of cool.
It's a 400. I like Golisopod a lot. I like how it's a bitch. You remember that one scene where someone has a
didn't he like switch it out?
Yeah, so his ability is called Emergency Exit, and so he like dips out, and so Golisopod's about to get hit with like a fire blast, and he's like, "Nah, fuck this." He emergency exits, and he puts a scissor in the way, and Scissor is 4 times weak to fire, so Scissor just gets absolutely demolished, like evaporated. You're just like, that's no shot. Like, that's so mean.
Why would you pick him? Yeah, of all the boys,
you little bitch. Anyway, yeah. That'd be kind of fun.
See, I think it might be the Pick-a-Peck.
Pick-a-Peck.
Because
Bird's a pretty easy one. Toucannon is pretty cool. I would love a Rockruff one.
Well, they'll do a Rockruff at some point.
Well, because they're still, eventually. They're still in raids, though, so we don't want to take our cash cow out. Bouncewheat would be kind of neat.
But yeah. All right, well, I think that's pretty much it for me. That's all I can think of.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, just keep your eyes peeled, curious to see what happens. Another thing, like, it doesn't really affect us as much. Well, I'm not sure how much it does. But South Korea is going to have their first Safari Zone. Which is interesting because for the longest time, Pokemon Go didn't even exist in South Korea until they could like get it through their government and stuff like that.
Crazy.
But anyway, so they have a Safari Zone in Goyang, South Korea, in the middle of September. And why I'm saying this might be interesting for the world is Spritzy will be shiny for the first time.
And just in my confusion, Unknown Y
will also be available for the first time during this event. So if you're in South Korea, check it out. If you're not, I wonder if this gets released globally. So I mean, Unknown Y will probably be hard to find, but like Spritzies can be shiny in the wild. That'd be kind of neat. I rarely
see their asses now.
I mean, I know, but they're kind of downtown-ish. They like city areas. So yeah, we got the community days. October community days in the middle, so about a week before your birthday.
Oh.
Then there's Taipei City, and then there's the November community days. There's going to be the Community Day Classic, and then normal community days in the middle of November because you probably want to keep clear of all the holiday, because they're coming up on the Holy Trinity of holidays or whatever you like to call them.
Trifecta.
The Holy Trifecta. Holy Trifecta. These nuts.
Jesus.
So then, yeah, I mean this is about it. It was a pretty good event overall. Really looking forward to the future. I want to know what seasonal light. I want to know what that means.
Right.
Some of the stuff. Looking forward to Solgaleo and Lunala. I like those Pokemon a lot. Gen 7 gets a lot of shit, but I think it's a fun one. Sun and Moon brought some heat. Maybe we get the Z moves, the dance moves.
Oh, that would be sweet.
That'd be funny.
But yeah,
I don't know how they do that because like they did Megas from Gen 6 and now we're in Gen 7. Z moves.
Bring it. Don't be weak sauce.
And then maybe there's a Team Skull event, you know? Sick.
Just dance battles.
So yeah. You got anything else for the people?
That's everything.
Let them know. Bring it. Drop it. Anyway, y'all are sexy human beings. I love you.
Have a good one, guys.
We'll see ya.
Bye.
Bye.